on. Shit. So this light now looks a bit yellowy, so we don't know for sure. I can do something in post, but who knows?
Drinking all the lemon juice. One of my arms looks darker than the other one.
I look like I look like I'm too close to you.
If I go like that, one of my arms is dark and one like yellow and one's white. If I go like that, they're the same.
That's obviously a wanking arm outside the window. But I look like I'm deliberately getting close to you for some reason. I've got loads of space next to me, but like I'm really close to you. Anyway, that's there. So I think we are in shot. We're focused, so we can just do what we want now. So we need to do an intro.
But what will you do then? You'll middle it up. Middle it up.
Middle up. We'll probably have something here. Middle up, technical term. Whoa.
I like the way you went with it.
I don't like the way my eyes look like they're like a foot below yours. I need to sit right there. Right? I need to be like the star of the camera.
A slump.
Yeah, okay. I might change my seating next time.
But is your seat lower than mine?
I think it is.
Can you put your seat up a little bit, or is that his highest?
Can do, but then I'm sort of...
And your feet will be swinging underneath you.
Yeah.
Like a small child.
Okay. Hi guys, it's BamBam. I'm back. Oh, I'm not back, am I? We're back with another video, or with Stoney's first video. I've actually taken Stoney's cherry, his video cherry. Cool. That's not really an intro, but fuck it, we'll leave it in.
Outtakes.
So we have our first podcast. This is very awkward, but we're going to just do it because no matter how bad it is tonight, it can only get better, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Can't get any worse than the moment. But okay, so we're going to have a regular podcast. We've wanted to do it for quite some time. We've been putting it off for ages. Shout out to Rob Mullins because it's kind of his idea. But saying yeah, Rob Mullins.
And he's not here.
I put a little photo up next to us of
Can
Rob
we get
Mullins.
a cardboard cutout of him for next time?
I think we should. Rob, you're not here, man. We wanted you to be here because it was your idea, but we had to get something started, and we're just going to give it a go. So
yeah. It was going to be called the Robcast at one point.
Yeah, Robcast. That was been quite a good name.
But neither of us are called Robs, and he's not here. So
are you prepared to change your name to Rob?
Not at all.
Not for this.
Are you prepared to change yours?
Well, are you prepared? I'll take it back. Are you prepared to change your name if it goes well?
I'll do anything if it goes well. To be fair, you name it.
Noted. Okay. So the plan would be to do a weekly or bi-weekly, knowing us probably monthly or quarterly podcast, just talking shit. Nothing too formal because there's loads of channels out there at the moment which are very formal and techie, and that's not us. I wouldn't say I'm a techie. I'll say I'm a techie, but I'm not techie.
And I'm definitely not a techie, so I'd listen to what he says and then go, oh, that sounds good, and then get the same thing. So
yeah, so we're going to come at this with because we don't want it to be work. We want to be able to put the camera on, turn the lights on, talk shit, have a few beers, and then just chuck it on YouTube. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, and hopefully our community will grow that way. But the plan will be to have maybe 2 or 3 topics to go through. And we'll probably divert off that, but then hopefully use those to come back on topic and end it with a fucking bomb at the end. So today's one.
Sounds good.
So today's topics we're going to talk about. We've said VR because we've both experienced VR. So I know a lot of people haven't VR. So Stoney, what VR have you got, and what's your thoughts on VR? First
time I ever experienced VR was when I was a kid, and it was in Trocadero in London in one of those really old and expensive booths where they put
Is that where Rob was working, Trocadero? Was that where
it was close to where Rob was working, yeah, because he was working next door.
So Rob kind of founded the podcast, and he's kind of founded VR as well.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Rob, basically is what we're saying. He is our leader. Yeah, so I experienced that when I was much younger, and you weren't really blown away with it, but you thought that was what the future was going to be. It was blocky hands moving in front of blocky cars and blocky things. And then I tried Oculus Rift, and my word, it is a world away.
What's your
absolute world away
best VR experience today on Oculus?
So probably the very first time.
Okay.
You know, when my VR cherry was popped.
By me again.
By you again.
By me again.
Absolutely. You've popped a lot of my cherries, mate, but let's not go into that on live.
That's
live.
Different podcast. When we talk about holidays, we'll do that on a separate podcast.
Let's not talk about
the reason why me and Stoney sit here right now is we can go back to the story in Magaluf, so we'll keep that for another time.
We'll keep you in suspense for that one, because that's really a story you don't eat while you're listening to. I mean, the first time I put the Oculus on, was blown away. I mean, I think it was the standing on top of the building. There's one of the demos.
Oh yeah, standing over the edge, looking down, and you've got all this shit going around you. There, that is awesome.
And I actually got vertigo. I get vertigo anyway, but I got vertigo standing on top of a building, and I remember distinctly trying to grab a railing that wasn't there.
What's the name? Is it Dream? Dream. I'm thinking Dreamcast, but that's a fucking console.
Dreamcatcher, Dreamwatcher,
Dreamcatcher.
Dream something or other.
Yeah, dreams.
Something about dreams.
Yeah, we didn't dream it, but it's
real.
the Oculus sort of
it's like a demo.
Yeah,
thing,
demo
isn't
room of a suite of different VR experiences, and it's called
Dreamscape.
I think it's Dreamscape.
Yeah, Dreamweaver, Dream. That's not Dreamweaver.
I don't know, but anyway,
Dream.
yeah, I agree. That's probably one of my. There's about 8 or 9 in that little section there, and that's probably the one for me, which is like, whoa, shit, VR is real. Yeah. It's awesome. What about
game changing?
Yeah, what actual games yourself? What about games?
So, it's funny enough, one of the first ones that you ever showed me was the Lucky's Tale.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome.
And that,
really good.
Being a kid's game, was incredible. I mean, that was, you know, it's really hard to describe it, but it's a kid's platform game, and you play a little, like, squirrel type fox.
It's like Sonic. It's like a Sonic.
Yeah.
The tail. What's it called? The
Tails. Like the character Tails in Sonic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you jump across and you catch coins and things like this, but you're not watching the game on a screen. You're in the game. So the guy is standing in front of you and jumping.
Right here.
And you can move your head around and look around him, and it's like you're in the platform game. And it's just a kid's throwaway game, but...
Did you try when you look forward, he actually looks at you. So if you go right close to the character, he actually sort of waves back at you. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's incredible. And I mean, obviously with the Oculus, and I think it's different with some of the other ones, you're limited with the movement because you've only got the one kind of sensor in front of you. And I know that's going to change with the touch, where you're going to have two.
When the touch comes out, I think part of the bundle will be another sensor. That's part of the thing, because it would need extra tracking.
But the HTC one, one of them's got the room tracking.
Comes with HTC Vive comes with the 2 lighthouses out of the box, with the 2 touch controllers. To be fair, they are good. They're awesome. They track really, really well. I've heard that the Oculus ones will be slightly better, and I like the way the Oculus look, like little hand type things. I've not actually used them before.
It's like a circle, isn't it, around the hand with the trigger?
It's closer to the hand. I think with the HTC Vive, my experience with that is that sometimes I'm like, because I've got where I am now, obviously when I set it up outside it's fine, but when I'm doing it in this room, you tend to get close to the walls, and even though you're in your little boundary bit, because there is like a little wall that comes up and protects you while you're in VR, but you can actually touch the walls with the controllers, which is a bit shit because they stick out a little bit. That's my only gripe with those. They are awesome, but the Oculus ones I reckon will be better when they do finally turn up.
And I'm excited to try the Sony one, even though I've heard that the Sony VR hand controllers, because it uses that
the cameras, the play cameras.
Yeah,
that's my biggest gripe as well, because that's been out for ages and it's not new technology, and it was shit when I first.
PlayStation Touch has never been great, and that's what they're using, and they need to massively improve that. But I think, you know, from a point of view of having some of the games, I mean, to me, one of my favourite games I play on PS4 is Battlefield 4. I love Battlefield 4. I spend a lot of time playing for Battlefield 4. I cannot wait for Battlefield 1 to come out. I didn't make it into the beta, but I'm happy to wait until the game comes out because it looks incredible. Playing that with a VR headset on, if that's going to be possible, it's game changing.
Maybe not in this generation of VR, but certainly maybe next year after, that kind of first person experience will be definitely on VR.
The only thing I'd say with my experiences of it is I had a friend who works with me come round and play Oculus, and he's a massive fan of car racing and real life car racing, and I put him in Project Cars.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He did 1 lap of Nürburgring and then had to go and lay down because he was feeling sick. So there is you can get motion sickness from it if you're not used to it.
That is interesting, because when I first did Oculus, I felt sick quite a bit. I don't know if it's because I was on it for a bit longer that I stopped feeling it, but I didn't feel it at all in the Vive. It may be because I was, by that point, because Vive comes second when I got my VRs, I was used to it by then. But yeah, I got sickness straight away. Literally after about 5-10 minutes, I'd feel sick in Oculus. I have to come out, and each time it did get longer. So
I remember one time I came around here and I was playing the game with the spiders, and I can't remember You tell me it was the one.
Yeah. I forgot what it's called. I know which one you mean. It's
like an RPG game where you're in somebody's body and you're actually walking around, and it's spectacular.
I'll link it below because I do know the game. I can't think of it. But I'll link it below. It's a good game.
But I'm walking around, and you go into this part of the game where you start going underground into tunnels and doing mazes, and I got sick. I got claustrophobic. Now, to get vertigo and to get claustrophobia with a headset on, sitting in a chair, that proves how realistic it is.
The sickness could have been the proximity to me, possibly.
That is also
we haven't considered that bit yet. So if
and
you're suffering sick now, it's kind of...
The other thing I'd say that was quite weird about that whole situation was the fact that there was one point where you went to toilet and I was sitting in the room going, hello? Because you don't know anyone's around you. You don't sense what's... You've got headphones in. I think if I remember rightly, I had the Astros on over the top of the... to get more immersive sound. And I was sitting in the room on my own, and then I didn't know, and I'm like sort of wanting to go... sort of reaching behind, is he there? Is he there? I don't know where. Am I on my own? I don't know what's going on.
That's another good positive point. Obviously, there's a lot of people in each camp. So Oculus and Vive. There's a lot of. If you go on Google, you find a lot of Oculus versus Vive, and there's arguments for both. There's good points for both of them. But one of the bits which links into what you just said there was the Vive has got a camera on the front of it. So if you want to, you can actually look at real world while you've got the headset on.
Oh yeah.
You can't do that on Oculus. At the moment, you have to take the headset off. But with Vive, you can actually see a camera in front of you, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think from my side, VR is going to take off. I was very skeptical about it when I started hearing about it a year or so ago and hearing about Oculus and everything like that. But having tried it and knowing that Sony are going to put their weight behind it, and I think...
Yeah, Sony back in it will be good.
I think Oculus is going to take off more as well. I mean, especially with Minecraft coming to it very soon, which I still haven't tried and I need to try.
It's very difficult at the moment because VR, because it's an entry level, it's expensive to get anyway, but you need a certain level of PC to be able to run it.
No, absolutely.
That's going to come down over maybe next year or so. The technology gets a bit better.
Yeah.
Cards will be a bit more efficient and cheaper, and that would be better.
But it's for what it is at the moment, if you can get hold of one, it's good fun. I mean, the games.
I would recommend getting a friend or trying to get to an expo. We'll talk about EGX in a little while, but an expo to see it for yourself because it's quite an investment if you're blind buying it. But it's also one of the things really hard to explain because unless you see it for yourself, no matter how many YouTube videos you watch, it doesn't do it justice.
Yeah,
it doesn't do it justice at all.
Not. It has the potential to be game changing. I mean, the first time I sat in a car in Project Cars, sitting on it was sitting on the start finish straight at Silverstone.
What car was it? Is it one of those
Formula One? It was a
the
Formula
one where
One.
you've got which got right.
And you're sitting, and you literally go from being in a menu screen to sitting in a cockpit of a car, and you have the sides of the car here, and you can go look over the edge and look down at the wheels and look around, and you can see your hands in front of you, and you can see them turning. That blew me away. I mean, absolutely.
That was just sitting in the chair. Imagine having the full cockpit, the pedals, and all set up. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, and I mean, that's going to come, right? Formula One teams have those simulators. I've been very lucky to have had a tour through work of the McLaren Formula One Technology Centre, where they make their road cars and the Formula One cars. And I was very lucky that we had a work event there as we sponsor them. I won't say the company I work for, but yeah, I was very lucky to have been one of the people to do that. They don't let everybody in.
It's great that those sort of companies get involved with it.
Yeah, and the simulator they had, we got to go down into the simulator. We didn't get to play on the simulator. It's not a toy anyway. It was worth millions. But we got to go into a room where you have, essentially, it's like a sound booth with a seat and a steering wheel and a Formula One cockpit setup.
Nice.
And a massive, like, IMAX type screen. And then a guy sitting behind a glass with computer screen after computer screen analysing every kind of data about, turning speeds and braking points. And they said that they could set that car up to be any car and it would feel like any car. So the one that we were watching was a BMW.
My first ever brown Sierra when I was like 19.
Exactly.
That's saying that was a beast.
My red Fiesta that I had when I first got a car, absolutely. But it's the technology's there.
It's not just for game either. There's loads of apps now. So if you've not got a headset, you're probably not looking on Steam that much for VR applications. But there's so many now which like are set up for like doctors and things like that to sort of practice. Obviously not on patients, but on a VR set. So there's loads of
Like the game operation.
Yeah, the game operation. Yeah, with the fucking.
That was the first ever VR.
Your handset vibrates. You pull a lung out. Lung or a kidney. Shit, can't put it back in again.
Yeah.
But there is that. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, there's so many uses, and I don't want to go into some of them, but if you go into YouTube and you type in VR, there are games that, I would say, but they recreate disaster situations as well. So you can be on the Titanic when it sinks. I've seen one in particular that was being in the Twin Towers when 9/11 happens, and it's a game. It's a game based around a disaster. So you ethically, it's very questionable. But it's something where essentially YouTube if you have the stomach to watch that kind of thing. It's computer graphics. It's not life graphics. But it's a very strange experience, and there's a lot of YouTubers have done videos of them playing this game. I'll tell you off air what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you haven't actually experienced the Vive, have you?
I haven't experienced the Vive, no.
I've been fortunate. I had both. I've sold my Oculus to Stoney. I've got rid of my Vive about a month and a half ago because I wanted to make sure I had enough cash. Because if you may have been used to my channel, I left my job in May 2nd, and took some months off. And I thought it was only sort of prudent to, even though I'm okay, but I just didn't make sure I didn't overspend myself in that period. So I got rid of the Vive, but I have been looking today actually to buy a new one. And I'll give you my reasons for it. So the differences between the Oculus and the Vive, the price is there first of all, but the Oculus is, I think it's coming out on the 20th of September for release again at $549. You picked it up, I think it's from Game, from Curry's if you're in the UK, or it'll be everywhere. I think everyone's going to have it. $549. I think the Vive is $799. Now you get with the Vive, you get the two handsets as well, and the two lighthouses. And although the Oculus seems cheaper for now, when the touch handsets come out, which will be probably December, my phone's going off, very professional, which will be December this year, with the sensor as well, that's going to be another £200-300 as well. So the prices will be pretty much level when it comes to it. In terms of my personal preference of the two, with the experiences, for sitting down, I'd say Oculus, because it's geared at the moment for sitting down. It's handy having the controller and things like that. But for the overall VR experience, it's Vive, and it's only Vive for now because it's got the touch controllers. Once Oculus has that, it'll be up for grabs. But Vive at the moment for VR is fantastic. I set up a 5x5 meter play zone in my garden with my son Brandon, and it was insane, mental, really, really good. You totally, within like 5 seconds, forget you're in a little zone, and it's brilliant, so good. But definitely,
all the reviews I've read have said Vive is ahead at the moment, and Vive will stay ahead. I think the biggest, it's not a disappointment, but the biggest thing I hope that they get soon is the volume of games, because at the moment,
a lot of tech demos,
a lot of either it seems like games that were quicker to be able to put in. There's a few ports of big games that have come in, so Minecraft being probably the one that might kickstart a lot of people to buy it, but Project Cars, Elite Dangerous, Eve Valkyrie, those kind of games are there, but you really need a AAA title to hit, like
I've heard that
Call of Duty or I don't know. I mean, could you play FIFA in?
I don't think. Yeah, I think they haven't mastered the whole sickness thing, motion sickness. I think that's the problem at the moment.
Well, Minecraft had a motion sickness problem at the beginning as well.
Just the refresh rate needs to be. It's 90 hertz at the moment for both the Vive and Oculus, and they both need to be a lot more than that if you want to get rid of motion sickness.
But I mean, to me, I think VR's not going to go away. When I first started talking about it with friends, I said skeptical about the whole thing. It's going to be like 3D. It's going to be around for a couple of years, and then people are going to forget about it. But the more I've seen of it, the more I think actually it's not going to go away.
Go back to the point about the AAA title. I've read today, actually, I can't remember which website it was on. I was looking at Oculus and Vive again today, coincidentally, before we even thought about having this topic as a video. And the thing I read was that a lot of the big game developers are developing AAA titles for the Oculus right now. While the Touch is not available, they've been doing Touch-type games ready for the launch of Touch.
Oh, great.
So in the meantime, That is why Oculus haven't launched the touch controllers now. They could have done, but they thought that because the games are being made now, there's no reason to rush to get them out to market.
Yeah.
They spend the time to tweak them, make them more ergonomic and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's why they're delayed, and they're both the AAA titles and the touch controllers will launch December this year.
Oh, yeah,
That would be cool.
I'm watching out.
Now we can't talk VR and not talk VR porn. Have you tried it? What are your thoughts? I know I have, and I'm fucking blown away by it. But
Literally, the only time was the demonstration that I had rather uncomfortably while you were sitting next to me.
I showed. See that's how close we are. We share things.
Not that.
When he came round to I was like selling the Oculus. I'd shown him the benefits of the Oculus, so I showed him porn. Obviously, I didn't join him in porn. I didn't leave the room.
Dual headsets.
There wasn't like that
Dual
kind of thing going on. It was
we both sat there looking at each other.
We both sat there hoping that no one walks through the door and not understanding what we're doing.
And that's the other challenge with obviously VR porn is that you've got a headset on and pretty much
you need to make sure that door's locked.
You lock that door.
Lock the door.
But I mean, to be honest,
Throw away your pride.
You showed me
the lap dance
and
one,
the
wasn't
tissues.
it? Yeah, tissues. Yeah, but if you're in VR, you need to be able to make sure you know where the tissues are because you can't see your hands.
But what do you do if you've got the touch controllers? Just saying.
HTC Vive's like this.
We're going down a very different triple X
Yeah.
route here, but yeah, the demonstration that you showed me was like computerized graphic.
Yeah, it was computerized.
Graphic, but very
was
computerized, and I can imagine that that's the kind of thing that also makes those things take off. Like, I mean,
porn VR. I think there are some shows which have a dedicated porn stand. I've not been to any, but I'm constantly googling them. So to wrap up VR, what your final thoughts?
I like the way you wrap up VR on porn.
Let's talk of porn. I'll get you out there as quick as I can.
Shall I just go?
What are your final thoughts on VR? Are you happy you've got Oculus?
I'm happy I have the Oculus. I think the technology is going to grow. I think it's going to be something that's not just going to be a niche, but I want more games. That's my summary of VR.
These games, yeah, right. Yeah, so I sort of echo Stoney there. I think it's awesome. It's very hard for me to say it's brilliant because it's very hard to convey what you experience in VR. Unless you actually see it yourself, it's very difficult. I would suggest if it's in your budget and you've got a PC for it, to go for it. You won't regret it. But if you're on the fence or you just want to just try it out, go to a show or something and then take a look because it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, absolutely concur. Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys, that's been our video on VR. I hope you like it. If you got any thoughts about VR, if you've tried it or if you want to try it, if you leave some comments below, we'll hopefully pick up on those in another video. So thank you guys for watching.